badge. We have possible street racers in the area. We have somebody check it out.
Roger, car 379er, can you investigate? Car 379er, where are you?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my quest to find the quickest and fastest drag car in the game BeamNG.drive. The rules are simple, no game mods, and the cars have to retain all outer body panels, doors, trunk, hood, etc. Today we're going to find out if the modern day 5.0 have anything for our lean, mean, screaming machines that we've created so far in this series, beginning with a few of the older model cars. So far, the quickest car on our list is the Bruckell Moonhawk, which last episode ran a best of 7.229 at over 192 miles per hour by the time we were done tuning on it. This episode, we're taking the drag version of the Bruckell Bastion through its paces, and by the end of the episode, we'll see how well it stacks up against a few of the classics that we've run so far. The Bastion comes with a 6.5 liter twin turbo V8 that could make close to 2,000 horsepower by the time we're done with it. The first pass, as always, is used to set a benchmark to work from. Other than the police livery, it's the default drag version of the Bastion, without any tuning and nitrous off. The Bastion runs an 8.714 at 162 miles per hour to start things off. Since that was completely uneventful, we're going to turn on the nitrous for the next pass. I believe the default is a 100 kW shot. And that woke the car up a little as we improved to an 8.449 at 166.66 miles per hour. It's already spinning the tires when we release a trans brake on this car, so the next order of business is to fit it with some proper drag tires, front and back, and see how it likes a little more traction off the starting line. With about half as much wheel spin, the Bastion improves to an 8.264 at 167 miles per hour. Now we're going to start adding some power. Find out how tough this engine is by tripling the nitrous flow to 300 kW. If you've tried tuning on one of these drag cars yourself, you know that the weakest part of these cars is the transmissions. We're using the drag 4-speed automatic in all of these cars. Without mods, it's really the only choice that works. But it's really easy to make a change to the way the car reacts or runs that causes the transmissions to fail. Not break necessarily, just get hung up between gears or not shift at all. I haven't put my finger on the exact causes, but for the most part, the better and smoother you can set the car up to run, the less that occurs. Adding the extra nitrous is one of those changes that the transmission did not appreciate. So, after a few failed attempts, I looked into the suspension parts the car had started with and swapped out the sport suspension for racing shocks, springs, and sway bar, as well as the welded rear differential. And just like that, we make it down the track, surviving the 300 shot of nitrous and running the first 7 with this car at a 7.904 at 176 miles per hour. Of course, having handled a 300 shot without blowing your crap, for the next pass, I leave everything else as is, and we'll give it the full 500 and see what happens. What happens is we run another new best of 7.673 at 183 miles per hour. If you've watched any of the previous episodes in this series, you know that along the way there are a few steps that we make that pretty much guarantee improved performances. Here's where we lose the exhaust pipes and gain a little bit of horsepower and lose the weight of several feet of steel tubing. Besides sounding pretty good, the Bastion runs a 7.517 at 186 miles per hour to improve on its best run and slide past their Gavril Burnside Porky to the number 3 spot on the list so far. Since this engine seems to be able to handle all the nitrous we can throw at it with ease, we'll try activating it in first gear. The converter keeps the RPMs to around 3,700 on the trans brake, so we'll activate the nitrous at 4,000 and it should turn on as soon as it launches. And as you can tell by the big wheelie, that worked pretty good. And we improved to a 7.466 at 186. Next pass, I lower the rear spring height, hoping the lower center of gravity will smooth the launch out a little. It does, but we don't really improve, running only a 7.475. Okay, here's the part where we put the car on a heavy diet, and this car could use one. I remove all the inner door panels, the fender flares and wheel skirts, move the rear wheels in so they don't stick out anymore, and then after that I lost track of how many passes I had to make to get this car to shift gears and make it to the finish line under power. Eventually, after having removed over 200 pounds from the car and figured out the right combination of suspension parts, along with gearing, damping, spring rates, etc., I was finally able to coax this thing to the finish line. With the best I could find in it, a 7.441 at over 187 miles per hour. So there you have it. After teasing out all the power we can make and putting the car on a strict diet, we managed to appease the stubborn transmission issues long enough to eventually put the Bruckell Bastion into the number 3 spot on the list of fastest drag cars without mods in the game BeamNG. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you don't miss the rest of this series. See you next time.